But I wanted to go through a couple things as we got started today. So in the chat, we would love to hear where you're calling in from, and then maybe what kind of industry and job that you're interested in, and then maybe what you want to hear from our panel today. What are some of the things you're interested in about these two specific growing industries in the finance and insurance industry? And so just pop that stuff in there. I'm also going to have you look, pull up your LinkedIn profile. And if you click on your picture on your LinkedIn profile, it will take you to your main profile page. And in the top, it tells you what your LinkedIn URL is. So pull that LinkedIn URL and drop that right in the chat box. If you're not sure what the chat box is, it's on the bottom of your screen if you're calling on your laptop. And on your phone, it's under the 3 dots. I think the iPhones are down on the bottom right. So pull up the chat box and engage in the chat this morning. It's our way of networking since we can't do it face-to-face right now. But you can see Sandy just dropped her LinkedIn URL in there. Roy did, Rob, Beth. Good morning, you guys. So we see people are calling in from all over Arizona. We will, if you are not from Arizona, we also want to hear where you're calling in from. Last meeting, I think 4 people from 4 different countries. It was kind of fun to see that. So drop in where you're calling in from, the industry or job that you're looking for, maybe what you're looking for out of today and looking to learn, and then also your LinkedIn URL. And what I encourage you all to do is on that LinkedIn URL to click on it and connect with each other. So it's again a way of us connecting with each other in this virtual environment. So, oh, Peoria, Illinois. Oh, great. You're from Illinois, Ryan. I'm glad you're calling in today, and you're going to be on our panel. So I'm going to throw this over to Sheila. She's going to go through a couple things for us to get started today.
Good morning. Sorry, I had to unmute. I forgot. So if you are on Facebook and you want to join our discussion here on Zoom, on the screen right now is the meeting ID for Zoom. So you can come on over here and join the discussion. Toward the end of our event, we will have some polls pop up, and that'll just be a window that pops up on your screen. And as soon as you answer the question, the window goes away, just to let you know. I think Jessica already covered the chat, so I hope that it's already busy in there. So that's the great thing. That's the way we can connect right now, like she said. The other thing I'm going to talk about more in just a minute is you can control how the videos of the people are shown on your screen, and that's going to be important today for our panel. And I also wanted to say that if there's anyone who needs closed captioning, like it says right here, that if you just PM me or text that number, then we will get closed captioning turned on for you today. Now, for the video screens, you have a couple of choices. If you're on a desktop, for sure, you can have gallery view or speaker view, and it depends on your device kind of where those choices are, but wherever the panel of videos is, above that usually is a little thing that either says gallery or speaker view, like you see here. And you're going to want to go on gallery view today. The confusing thing is when you click gallery view, it'll flip and it'll say speaker view when you're basically toggle between the two until you can see the most amount of people, and that'll be the best experience today. So after Jessica does the agenda, then whoever is brave enough to be on video will be in your gallery view. And we encourage you to be on video. We would like to be able to smile at each other this morning. Thanks.
Okay. All right, let's see. So the agenda today is, I'm going to throw it over to Christy Bach here in just a minute. She's with BestCompaniesAZ, and they are a co-sponsor of this event today. We are featuring 6 of the best places to work in Arizona. And so every time we do that, we ask best companies to come in and feature some of the people that they work with that are award winners. And so Christy will talk about that for just a moment. And then we'll jump over into our insurance panel. We'll take about a half hour of questions that we have prepared and ready to go, some which came from you guys when you submitted your questions when you registered. And then we'll hear from Sandy, Ryan, and John, specifically on the insurance industry. And then we are also going to, during the event today, if you have additional questions, put them in the chat. And we have a couple people watching the chat so that we may be able to ask a quick question or two at the end that comes live from you guys today. And then at 9:45, you're going to hear from Erin, Olivia, and Jarrell on the financial services panel. And so they're going to talk about different career paths and opportunities within that industry. Same kind of thing. We'll ask the standard questions, but if you have additional questions, please feel free to drop them right in the chat today. You'll hear from our sponsor, Joe, the Insurance Pro. You'll hear from him at the end. And then I'll close it out with some resources for you if you are going through career transition or in other opportunities as well. So we have a fully jam-packed day, and we are so excited to get started. I would like to first start by saying welcome to Christy Bach and have her take it for a few minutes. She is the COO of BestCompaniesAZ, and they're, again, a sponsor today. So welcome, Christy.
Thanks, Jessica. We are super excited to be here, and welcome everyone to the panelists and the great companies that are represented here, and also all the job seekers that are joining us. We really are very thrilled to just be a co-host and a partner. We do a lot of great work in the community with Career Connectors, so we're just really excited to partner together today. A little bit about Best Companies AZ. We validate and elevate the best companies in the region, and we've had a presence in the Phoenix market for over 17 years now, and we really connect companies and job seekers and the community. We're best known as the founder of 3 large workplace award programs and events, the Best Places to Work, the Arizona Most Admired Companies, and the Top Companies to Work For in Arizona. We are also known for our web-driven platform where we showcase best companies in the region and help strengthen their employer brand really by highlighting their award-winning business practices, culture, and career opportunities. So I encourage you to visit our website, and I'll put that in the chat box. It's loaded full of great resources, whether you're looking to learn about who are the best companies to work for in Arizona, or if you click on the resource tab on our website, it is full of great information for job seekers and companies alike, but just great information for job seekers on interview questions, tips, and tricks. And so I encourage you to come and visit our website. And once again, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Christy. Christy is just such a great, you're just so great. She's a friend of mine. She is the president of Career Connectors Board of Directors as well. So she really is invested in what we're doing in the community and lifting up companies and helping people have and companies have great cultures. And so just a quick story, when the pandemic hit in March, Christy and the CEO of Best Companies AZ reached out to me. Her name is Denise Gredler. They reached out to me and said, what can we do? What can we do to help people right now? And they were the first ones on the scene. They jumped in, created a new website, worked with a whole bunch of other partners to pull together resources. And so that Best Companies AZ website is great. There's right on the front, there's a COVID resources option. And what they did is they went out and confirmed and validated 65 companies that are hiring, that are still hiring during this time. That's in the top section, and these are featured employers. And then on the bottom section is another 100 or so from Arizona at Work. But they went out and did the legwork to make that happen. So you guys are awesome. We so appreciate you being here today and being part of this.
Thank you, Jessica.
All right, so now we are going to jump over to our first panel. And Sheila, you want to put that slide up that just tells who's here today? And I will do a quick intro as we get them on. So here is the slide. You'll see the 3 people we're going to have on board. We're going to welcome from State Farm, Sandy Carlock. She is the Talent Brand Specialist and HR Workforce Solution Specialist at State Farm. So welcome, Sandy. Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
And you can see, yes, that's Jake, if you don't know, in the background. That's Jake from State Farm is joining her today. And then we have Ryan Dean from RLI Insurance. He's the lead HR business partner. Hello, Ryan.
Good morning, everyone.
Hello. And then you will see John Walters is joining us from Liberty Mutual. He is a sales director. So hi, John.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. Good morning. So hopefully we're going to switch over to gallery and speaker view. And so we won't have a slide to share. And Sheila mentioned this before. You can either choose to be on gallery view or you can choose to be on speaker view. If you see on the top right-hand part of your screen, you're going to see the option for either gallery view or speaker view. And if you click and get into gallery view, which is weird, it'll say speaker view, but you're actually in gallery view. You will see the 4 of us that are on the panel at the top of your screen. If you choose to be in speaker view, you will see the person speaking on the big screen and everybody else will be on the right or at the top. So choose whichever you like the best and we will get started. Okay, so Sandy, Ryan, John, we're starting with you this morning. I would love to have you just take 2 minutes and kind of give us an overview of your company and what you like best about the culture of where you're at.
I'll go first. So my name is Sandy Carlock. I'm the talent brand specialist. So my job is to find y'all and bring you to the front door of State Farm. I'm located in the Phoenix hub, and just a little bit about State Farm. So as you know, we're an insurance company. We're currently ranked 36, our Fortune 36 on Fortune 500 list, and we provide financial and P&C products to our customers in our community. So really what that means is we help them protect the things that matter most to them. I always tell people sometimes you feel like a superhero with a checkbook because you're taking care of people. And we are a really big company though. So we insure more cars and homes than any other insurer in the US. We are so big that we aren't not just insurance, and people think of just claims. We are customer service, underwriting, philanthropy, marketing, public affairs, and we have a huge technology department. So in one place, you can do many different careers. We have 58,000 employees and 83 million policies. And the best part is we're approaching our 100-year anniversary in 2022. So what I like best about State Farm is obviously in the culture. One big happy family. We have husbands, wives, siblings, friends, everyone refers each other there. So there's so many family members. It's just one big State Farm family. And State Farm cares for their employees. So there's a culture of caring and wanting to make you succeed and help you succeed. And we care about our customers so equally. And so development opportunities are huge in the company. And that's what makes that culture strong, where we're constantly trying to move people up to where they want to be when they grow up in State Farm. You can grow up more than once, like me though. And then really giving back, that philanthropic culture. We're big at making sure that as a company we give back. We're involved in so many different foundations and charities that we belong to, but we also encourage employees to do the same. So they give us a day every year to be able to volunteer in the community, and you can actually earn another day if you volunteer a lot. So very cool culture that is set up for us to succeed, but also us to be really involved in our community. That's what I love the best about State Farm.
Thank you, Sandy. Thanks for that. Ryan, what about you?
Yes, so good morning again, everyone. My name is Ryan Dean. I'm a lead HR business partner here at RLI Insurance. Interesting about RLI Insurance is we're not, like the State Farms of the world where we have, millions and millions of policies. Congratulations, Sandy. That's something to be proud of. But we are more of a specialty insurance company. We were founded a little bit over 50 years ago to focus on the niche markets or the niche products that other insurance companies don't have the necessary policies or the expertise to protect against, but there's still the need for it. So we're a public company. We're traded on the New York Stock Exchange. We have about 900 employees, and we're headquartered here in Peoria, Illinois. From what I told, it's the original Peoria, and some of you folks down in the Arizona area may be familiar with Peoria, Arizona. But we have about half of our employees up here, and the rest are scattered throughout various branch offices that we have all throughout the U.S. including a couple down there in the Phoenix area. We have a location in Tempe and a location in Peoria, which we just do that to confuse everyone here with the difference between two Peorias. So what I particularly like about our culture is we're an ESOP company, and so there's almost this built-in entrepreneurial spirit that all of our employees have. We care about the success of the organization. We understand where we are as an organization as far as the numbers go, because at the end of the day, we're incentivized and a little bit motivated to understand where we stand. So there's a lot of things that can happen. We're a good-sized company where we're large enough, but yet we're still small enough to be able to make an impact, make a difference, be able to change some things here from a culture standpoint for the overall good of the company.
And Ryan, you guys, what kind of products do you insure?
Yeah, so we have a pretty broad mix, inland marine, transportation, surety bonds, specialty personal lines, and we're unique. Our distribution models are all different for all of our products too. Some we are direct to consumer, some we go through some agents, independent agents, captive agents, some we go through large broker firms. So every product, just like the products themselves, our distribution is fairly unique as well.
Great. Okay, John Walters, tell us about you and Liberty Mutual.
Yes, ma'am. Happy to do it. Liberty Mutual is a global insurance company. We run in the United States and 17 other countries. There's 50,000 employees at this time. Right now, what's kind of exciting is we are scattered, working from our homes, working from different places, but then also a good part of us is still working from the office. So we're definitely running a hybrid during the COVID. Liberty predominantly focuses on the personal lines market. We also have a very large brokerage operation, RLI being one of the people I literally broke for. So we work with a lot of different carriers at the same time. The best way to capture Liberty Mutual is we're really a tech company that happens to do insurance. So very much on the innovation side, very much on the technology side, but insurance is the product that we obviously deliver and work through. It's exciting to see, and some of the tech things, if you're into the claims world, we're using drones. If you're into the sales world, we're using a lot of different technologies that are tied to your cell phones now and tied to your vehicle driving habits, and always evolving that. And that's probably the part of the culture that excites me the very most about Liberty Mutual, is that that excitement about constantly learning, developing, and no fear of failure. We're great with failure. We want you to fail super fast so we can get to that next highly successful new innovative piece. Liberty actually does a version of Shark Tank with our own employees and also with outside organizations that over time we've invested in, that allow us to really stay on that innovative edge. And that's where Liberty's really attempted to stay on the leading edge of things. Yes, they're a global insurer, like I mentioned. It is a Fortune 100 company, so very well grounded, very, very solid foundation. My role in the big picture of things is I'm one of the sales directors, and I basically do retail brokerage operations between Phoenix and Tucson, and work with multiple employees. And I'm on the product distribution side of the house, to where we're working with agents, we're working with the different groups like RLI and different carriers that we also broker for. So it ends up being a customer-facing world that I operate in, but also throughout the country. We have large call center operations, we have large service center operations. We also have a lot of regionalized operations. So again, it comes down to, when you think about the industry and you think about really Liberty Mutual, it's finding that perfect company for you. And I think the insurance industry is an amazing industry. From there, it's drilling you to the right company. And I think Liberty is one of the finest in the industry, as are the other panelists here too. I think you got a great lineup today.
Awesome, thank you, John. All right, so let's move on. We have a lot of people that are looking for their next career opportunity, their next job opportunity. So what advice would you give to prospective employees, people that are looking to work for possibly your company? Ryan, you want to start with this one?
Yeah, I think the first thing that I look for is research. We aren't State Farms. We're not Liberty Mutual. We don't have that brand recognition. Heck, a lot of people in Peoria, Illinois, don't even know about RLI. So when I'm talking to candidates, in Phoenix area, I think it's important to understand understand a little bit about the company that you're applying for, that at least you're going to be talking to. So I think number one is research the company, do a little bit of homework. I think that goes a long way when you're actually then talking to their HR department, the hiring manager, whoever that looks like.
That's great. Sandy, what else do you have there?
I definitely agree with the homework piece. Even with a big company like State Farm, a lot of people come in not knowing enough or not knowing anything about the company, and it really helps when you're trying to connect and really be able to talk about what your skills are, to know about what the company has, to be able to apply that. And then networking and connecting, a big deal, obviously through Career Connectors and LinkedIn, really huge because everyone is connecting through LinkedIn. So even if you're at that point where you're like, I don't want to have to do it, do it. Get your networking, start networking, connect. And I think that was a big piece. And obviously, no time to be humble on your LinkedIn page or on any resumes, right? Put it all out there, look for the job openings and put those words in your resume to make sure you can get that foot in the door. Because getting your foot in the door at any of these companies is the most important thing, because I'm sure all the companies hire from within. So once you get in, just knock it out of the park and you'll be able to move around and be able to get into anything you want to be able to get into.
Yeah, great. That's thanks for saying that, Sandy. Networking is so important. John, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, one piece. I think Sandy and Ryan definitely nailed the majority of it. The last piece I'd share is, let me see who you are. A lot of times we might be tight in the interviews, we might be tight in those conversations. Show me who you are, because I'm one of those guys who will go, you're awesome, you're perfect for the industry, and if you're perfect for Liberty, I'll tell you, I'm not going to talk you into it. But if you're perfect for State Farm or Farmers, I'm going to pass you to one of my friends over there, because I want you in my industry. And if you show me who you are, I'm going to make sure you're positioned where you're going to be highly successful. And I think in the long term, that's what you want.
Yeah, love that. That's great. Okay, so people have a lot of assumptions about insurance industry, good, bad, indifferent. And so what are some of the things that once you were in insurance, once you joined an organization, like some of those myths or assumptions were just busted, like they weren't real. What are some of your thoughts around that? Sandy, you want to start us there?
Yeah, sure. I guess I started very young. I've been with the company for 26 years, so obviously my ideas were probably very warped. I just thought insurance was pretty nerdy and didn't really do all actuarial kind of things, and just realizing that when I came in that I actually could make a difference in someone's life that day. I started in auto claims, and being able to help someone where they had an accident, a death, different things, it just was amazing on how, as an insurance industry, the products. I didn't realize how broad it was and how many things we actually do to help people protect things that matter to them and be able to help them get back on their feet when they've had a tragedy or a storm, a tornado, things like that. I think that was big to me. And then just coming into State Farm itself, thinking again, just claims, and realizing how big a company it was and how many different opportunities there were in there. Those all were just amazing and shattered, blew my mind. So.
Yeah. John, do you have anything else that you, that was kind of shattered for you?
Yeah, absolutely. When most people think of the industry, they think sales or service. And I frequently will throw that out to groups, and I'll ask them, what percent of our population sells, what services, and they'll give me numbers like 90%, 80%. It's about 10% when it all comes down to it. It's not huge, but that's the forward focus, and that's the forward face that you see. And so it was shattered. For me, was all the job families we have, all the career opportunities. I mean, we're talking about from pilots to contractors to, yes, there's sales, yes, there's service, but there's not a job family or a background that you have that we can't use. And there's very few industries that can brag about that and talk about that. And that's one where you can constantly grow to what you want to become if you're not there already in our industry. And that's a mind blower once you put your head around that.
Yeah, it's so good. I remember one time State Farm came out and was speaking at our event, and they were looking for a drone operator. I thought, what a great job.
I was just typing that in. I said, that blew my mind. An event planner that goes to Italy and things like that. Yeah.
Ryan, what about you?
Yeah, so, I've been in the insurance industry for 15 years, a little bit over 15 years, and I recently graduated college with a degree in law enforcement and didn't want to go into that field. And so actually someone like Sandy at State Farm took a chance on someone because, you know, after you graduate college, what's everyone tell you to do? Go out and get a job, right? So luckily we're close enough to State Farm's headquarters here in Illinois, where I just got my foot in the door with State Farm and great company, and every role has kind of built on what I've been doing. So to Sandy's point earlier, come in, get your foot in the door, and then prove yourself and work hard. So, you know, not knowing anything about the insurance industry, not studying it, not focusing it on as a major or anything, you know, I had the impression that, oh, it's just boring. Like, oh, now I have to pay my monthly bill or my monthly premium and things like that. And I think what is missed a lot of times is all the good that the insurance industry does for communities. I think if any time that the insurance gets any press, I think it leans toward the negative with a unique situation or something like that. But what you don't hear is, you know, after Hurricane Laura, you know, is coming in and making landfall, I think today, you know, what happens after that, where the insurance industry comes in and pours millions, hundreds of millions, billions of dollars back to those communities to help rebuild houses, cars, lives. I think that gets missed a lot of the times, and certainly something that once you're in there and when you're experiencing it, we have a lot of pride around that, to Sandy's point earlier.
Yeah, great. In the chat, Jeanette is saying that her husband is a certified FAA Part 107 drone pilot. That is awesome. Okay, so you guys, all of you have mentioned in some way career pathways. So getting in, going and doing other things. Can you talk about that? Does your company have established career pathways, or what do you mean by there are all these opportunities? Let's start with John.
Awesome question. I appreciate you asking it. The career pathways is huge. It is something we very much are all about continuing to learn. So if you've been here 25 years like myself, I still need to keep learning, or if I'm a new hire. But the step one always starts with communicating well with your boss, well with whoever you're working for, so he or she can correctly position you, and then also make sure you have the correct foundation. So if that means us paying for your bachelor's degree to go forward, awesome. If that means us doing some outside study, some outside education, that may not be a bachelor's, but something else, absolutely. We're big fans of that, and that's what we continue to do. It's a partnership, though. It's helping us understand where you want to go. The resources are there. Our ultimate goal is that as you progress throughout your career, you see us as the ideal home. Our industry is the perfect home for you, and that we are going to put out the energy, the effort, and the resources. You have to bring that awesome attitude and that willingness to learn going forward, and it'll be a home run. But that's literally how we career map with you.
Awesome. Great. Brian, what about you?
Yeah, so with some of our, or with most of our jobs, we have families that are associated with it. So take a software developer, for example. You know, we have multiple different levels that if someone who wants to stay in that job family for their whole entire careers, that's excellent. And to John's point earlier, you know, always learning, always continuing. And so we have specific families like that. And, you know, you can stay within one division, if it's IT, if it's claims, if it's underwriting, whatever that looks like, there's different avenues available. But then also to something that was mentioned earlier, just the networking. You know, I've been in, I think now 5 different divisions in my career, from HR to sales to training, leadership. And so, you know, yes, the background helps with that, career pathing helps with that, but also just equally important is the networks, the connections that you build, the relationships that you're building within those organizations, outside those organizations, to help you get to whatever you want to be at the pinnacle of your career, which I think we're still all working for.
Yeah, and that's such an important point, because that's not just insurance industry, that's every industry. I remember being at Intel for 10 years, and when I left Intel, all my networking had been within my company. So when I left, I was like, I don't know what to do. And so you even said inside and outside. I mean, that helps us all grow and learn. So if you don't like the word networking, for people that are on the line, which I don't either, I'm not a huge networker until Career Connectors came along and I had to learn how to do it. You are so right, Ryan. Networking within your company and outside will lead to so many opportunities. Great. Sandy, what about you? I know State Farm does some great stuff with careers and career paths.
Yes, yes. Our career paths in are usually entry-level paths in. Now there's other areas in technology, a lot of technology, different openings that we have, because similar to what John said, we are a tech company that sells insurance. So we have a really big tech area, but mostly customer service, claims, those are our entry-level points. Mostly because we have obviously a big need for that, and it's our bread and butter of the company, but also because you learn a lot about the company quickly. You learn a lot about all the areas, about our policies, our products, everything that you need to know, you'll learn in those entry-level times. And then again, to Ryan's point, then at that point that is, showing yourself and getting mentors, being able to mentor into different areas. So the career path is very similar to what Ryan said, where we have the job family that you can move up, right? You can stay in that job family, and especially in claims, there's a huge umbrella of different roles within there, but all the different departments with underwriting, philanthropy, marketing, you can actually move to those different areas. So I don't want to spoil alert for colleges, but you don't have to have an insurance degree to come into State Farm, but we do, and obviously we want you to be able to get designations and learn about insurance and be able to get CPCU and CLUs and things like that to really better yourself, right, in the role and make you more competitive. So we emphasize education and development in our company so that you can go elsewhere. But getting a mentor, the mentorship is huge because that person's going to actually help you find those opportunities, maybe job shadowing, different opportunities to be able to learn that. We have people, especially even myself, I've completely changed careers in completely different departments, HR, claims, processes, different things like that you can actually move into with that mentorship and being able to obviously work hard as well. So you can do lattices with a whole bunch of different experiences, or you can do ladder.
That's great. Yeah, I love that you said that. Completely different careers, one company. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Okay, you guys, COVID has rocked everybody's world. I mean, right? I mean, it's just put it out there. We all know it's rocked all of us in some way, shape, or form. Can you talk a little bit about, how has your company and business pivoted because of COVID? What are some of the things you're having to do differently and how you're adjusting? Sandy, you want to start us on this one?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's probably going to have the same answer, is moving an entire company to their homes was our biggest pivot and challenge. Obviously, being able to, in Tempe alone, we have 7,600 employees that we moved to their homes, and being able to get technology working and trusting and using technology more has actually made us realize things that we didn't know we could do. So being able to establish new technologies and branch out and learn and bring in new technology has actually helped us be more efficient, helped us be able to connect with people more. So that was our biggest pivot. And then being creative in our world, in our space that we're in, being intentional to connect, and being able to find ways that we could connect externally, right, to everyone in the community, as well as connecting internally at the same time. And so that was our biggest challenge that I think we've overcome and we're doing well at. And then the second thing is really on the customer. We pivoted quickly to be able to help customers, just like you have been doing, Jessica, with just knowing that there's that big amount of people out there that have need. Excuse me. So as a company, we reduced rates nationwide about 11%, approximately $2.2 billion. They did a Good Neighbor Relief Program where they, I think it's up to $4.2 billion in savings passed back to customers because, as you know, many people aren't driving, less accidents, so we have that less people making claims. So we can be able to pass some of that money back to our customers. So really big on trying to help the customers through this time of need was the other pivot. So not focusing internally, but trying to remember to focus externally as well.
Yeah, true. So many people not driving. I'm loving traffic when I have to go out right now. Ryan, what about you guys?
Yeah, so everything that Sandy said, just from an overall company standpoint, but then also I think one unique thing that very specific and I think very relevant to this panel was interviewing. So we were still hiring, we are still hiring. Our interview process had to be adjusted, and that took a lot of effort to make sure that a hiring manager is comfortable, because it was new for us. So if I'm hiring in Tempe, more than likely at some point during that interview process, either you're going to come up here to Illinois or we're going to go down to Arizona to meet in person. And so to convince a hiring manager to be comfortable extending an offer, bringing on an employee without ever actually having to physically meet them was a challenge, honestly, for us in some of our areas. And so, and then once we get past the hiring, onboarding, how do you make sure that we are onboarding a new employee correctly? Because that can be, just thinking back to my new time as a new employee with any organization, there's a lot of nerves going on there. There's a lot of unknowns. And then when I'm sitting in my house by myself and I don't have that person sitting next to me where I can just ask all of the questions that come up all the time as a new employee, how do we make sure that they're getting everything they need? And so a lot of work, we're very intentional when it comes to that process and who's part of that process and who is kind of the big buddy, big brother, big sister, whatever we want to call it, for those new employees.
Yeah. Oh, all of that. Absolutely true. Great. So John, what about you?
So a couple things I definitely would add. They covered it very, very well. First piece is Liberty initially focused on the employees, which was pretty cool because if you think about it, we want to take care of our customers, we want to take care of everybody, but if you don't have the teams and staff to do it, we can't do it. So Liberty's been very purposeful on their communication, very purposeful on enhanced compensation and different things that people need in this trying time if they've had spouses who aren't employed and whatnot. Liberty's really stepped up much above and beyond as far as that goes, to where when they've done internal employee surveys, it's in the 98% on how Liberty's handled the COVID pandemic as an employee of. So very, very excited on that side of it. The other thing that's been pretty exciting is the product innovation. I mean, just the changes. Now you see us rolling out by mile, like you're talking about. I'm not driving so much. So now we've got products coming out much faster, addressing the changing consumer environment. And that's pretty exciting. Again, being an innovative company, that's something we've really ramped up. And then the last piece, and I think Sandy touched on it, is the give back our industry has been doing for premiums because our claims and everything else has been reduced. That's pretty exciting. But we also know going out the other way, as people start driving and whatnot, expense management is still going to be huge for everybody. And so us as a company, we need to be very respectful because we want to keep the rates lower and lower because we know our client base is going to be obviously cutting their own budgets, working tough on getting back to the workforce and those things. And we want to be very respectful of that and make sure we're doing our part for society, but also our part for our consumers to remain a very, very competitive company on that. So it's actually been very exciting. The term our recruiting team's using now is we're getting a lot of boomerang employees, people that left other industries, left other places, and now they're coming on back like a good old boomerang. So I think that speaks awesome for our industry because Liberty's not alone on that idea. And Sandy's giving me a nice thumbs up, thank you. But I think our industry has been amazing in this. Again, not a Liberty plug, an industry plug. So with that, I'll give it back to you.
That's great. Good. Okay, I'm going to ask you all to get out your crystal ball. But like, what do you see? In your industry is growing in Phoenix for sure, and lots of jobs still you're hiring. Talk about, what do you guys see for the insurance industry? What's going to be happening in the future? Is the growth continuing? Talk to us a little bit about that. Ryan, you want to start?
Yeah, so a few points that have already been touched on is the change. What's made our life successful for 50 years isn't going to be what is going to make us successful for the next 50 years. What's made State Farm successful for 100 years isn't going to be what makes it successful for the next 100 years. So this change, not only in customer expectations, but just the way of doing business, communicating, product innovation. John mentioned the pay by mile and all of these, InsurTech startup companies that are partnered, that companies like us are partnering with to help make sure that we're continuing to evolve. I like how I think it was John who said, we're a IT company that sells insurance, and I think that's something that's going to be continuing to evolve. Use of data now with more and more data that we know we have more data than we know what to do with it. So figuring out how to really utilize that data to help with our pricing, to help with our products, to help with that innovation to get us to that next step. It's exciting times and certainly a lot of changes going on at a pretty quick pace. So it's definitely exciting to be part of.
Awesome, great. Sandy, what about you?
So I'm going to echo Ryan because we really, obviously we protect against things that are unexpected. So there's always going to be a need for insurance in the future, but what coverages needed are going to look different. So just like the pay by mile, is our environment going to be like COVID even longer? What kind of products do we need to now change that we already have? And then keeping our main focus still on our customers, knowing the bigger need for technology. So we know that the same thing that Ryan just said, we are a tech company that sells insurance, and we're going to be even more in the future. Self-autonomous vehicles, obviously, we've heard so much about that. I just read the other day on tech news about the flying vehicle, which was freaking me out. And so cyber threats, immense amounts of data being available. So we really need to be able to sell products that are going to start working towards that technology world, and then helping that customer navigate through that space and be able to know how AI and data and how that presents risk to them, and being able to help them with that risk. So I think the technology is really going to be a big focus.
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan, have you addressed this one yet?
Yeah.
Okay, John.
Yes, ma'am, you're good.
Okay.
So Liberty's taken a global stance on this. So yes, we're growing in Phoenix. Yes, we're growing throughout the United States, but we're also growing globally. We want to become a top 4 global insurance carrier, which is significantly different than just centralizing on the United States. So you're seeing some aspirations on that side of it. The other term that we use is de-escalation. So as we move out of COVID as an industry and as a company, one of the things that we're doing so much better now that we didn't do before, we want to keep that. We want to go back to a new normal, not back what I'd call normal from before. So what does that new normal look like? We're looking at that, and we're assessing that as we speak. We've got a few different groups through home office that are partnering on that we're really trying to pull those best practices, pull those things together. One of the super cool things in my mind is we used to think everybody had to be in hub locations, right? Somewhere in Boston, somewhere in Phoenix, somewhere in Seattle and whatnot. Now we're going, I don't think that's the case. So now you can find senior level positions that we can hold from all over the country, all over the world, which wasn't the case before. So I think the opportunities of COVID, yes, there's some negatives, not going to tell you different, but I think there's some amazing growth opportunities that our companies, our industry are recognizing, that you now have more opportunities sitting in Phoenix than you did 6 months ago because of the technology, because of we can see we can do this. We don't have to be at our home offices in these different places. We can be at our literal home office instead. So it's exciting. We're going, I think, jump on. It's going to be an amazing ride in the industry, and it's going to be an exciting ride. So I'd encourage everybody to join us.
Yeah, I think the world of work is just looking different. And the flexibility, the adaptability that employees as well as employers have is going to be one of the benefits that comes out of this. And so great perspective. I have one more. I'm going to ask the last question about jobs in just a second, but I have one question I wanted to ask that I didn't talk to you guys about before, but this one is hiring seasoned employees. So tell us, we have people on the line that maybe are over 50 and they're like, you know what, it's time for me to change careers. It's time for me to do something different. What if they are interested in more of coming in, maybe they want to start in a more entry position? Is that something your company is okay with? Would you be, I know you're never going to say, I won't hire somebody because of age. Absolutely, we get that. But like, is that acceptable kind of culture for people to come in and regardless of what they've done in the past, to come in an entry level position and kind of work their way through the company? Who would like to jump in on this one?
I'm happy to do it. I don't mind a bit. The answer is yes. You nailed it. We don't worry about your past. We worry about who are you today and how coachable and moldable are you going forward, and do you have a vision of where you want to go that's congruent with what us as a company, us as an industry are heading. And if it is, it's a home run. It's a home run. I wouldn't even be concerned about that. I'd say, send us your resumes. Let's check it out and let's find the right fit for you.
Awesome.
Yep, I agree completely. We want your experience. Please come here. You have valuable experiences to share, and as long as you're willing to come in at entry level, that's kind of what I said before, and I know I've already said this about development. We are doing programs where we are searching actually for everyone's experiences on their resumes that they come in, because it transfers in, right, and stays with you on top of your internal resume, to find fits, right, to be able to pull you and tap you on the shoulder and pull you into a professional role that we think that you would be great for. And we are constantly adding roles. I mean, I've been with their company for 26 years and I'll see a job I've never heard of. So we constantly have change going on. So just bring those experiences in. We love experienced people, especially because we already know you know the professional world, right? You know how to handle yourself, and you'll be able to actually be a good mentor to other people.
Yeah, and just one quick thing to add on to everything is, the expectation is that when you do come in, you do bring that experience, because we don't know what we don't know, right? For some of us who have been in the industry a long time, we don't know what other places are doing. We don't know what other companies are doing. We don't know what other industries are doing. And so that's why we are bringing in people like yourselves to help us to understand what's going on outside to improve our organization going forward.
Awesome. Thank you so much, you guys. All right, we're running a little over, so I'm going to ask you to wrap this up by telling us, each of you, tell us about some hot jobs that are you're hiring for and that you guys are looking for right now. So Ryan, why don't you help us out?
So I mentioned that we're headquartered here in Peoria, Illinois. One of the areas that I support is our IT area. Most of our IT talent is here in Illinois. However, we've realized that Illinois, or Peoria at least, is not the IT mecca of the world. And so last year we actually went on like a cross-country tour looking for other cities that could be candidates for our next IT hub. We ultimately landed in Phoenix for a lot of different reasons. A lot of you were part of that reason. It's just access to more candidate pools, higher quality of candidates, different experiences. So right now we are in full growth mode, at least from an IT standpoint, in our Tempe area, and do foresee that continuing here, both short and long term. And so if you're an IT person, whether it's on the development, the data, infrastructure, whatever that looks like, please shoot me a note. Happy to connect with you. But then also we have our Tempe area as one of our claim hubs. So like we mentioned before, you don't necessarily have to have a background in claims, right? If one of the products that we insure, or one of the products that we offer is professional liability. So if you're an architect, we can provide you with some coverage on there. But if you're a claim person, we might not need someone who has claims experience, but we need someone who has architect experience to come in and to help us settle those claims when they happen. So a lot of different backgrounds, a lot of different opportunities, and so certainly keep us in mind for anything that you see from us.
Great. All right, John, what about you? Hot jobs.
Yes, ma'am. So let's talk about ourselves, because we love Phoenix, right? So if we're talking Arizona hot jobs, we are going to grow the sales team, the field sales team, not the call center, but the field sales team. We're going to continue to grow that. So there's some amazing opportunities between Tucson and Scottsdale, east side, west side of the valley. So we've got some amazing opportunities there. If you love the network, you love to spend time with people, you like to make great money, that's definitely your world. The other roles we're always looking for, we talked about IT, same thing, but also people who are rock stars at math. I know that might sound odd to you, but anybody that's great at math, because you're looking at business analysts, you're looking at actuarial worlds, you're looking at all kinds of things. Those of you who love numbers and would love to look at spreadsheets, send us your resumes, because you are in high demand, my friend.
Oh, that's good. That's a great perspective.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, John. And Sandy.
Yeah, so for Arizona right now, mostly technology. So a lot of technology openings, especially software developers, and all different types. And if you pull up each rec, they're all different on what they're looking for Python or Java or full stack developers. So things like that. So just go to findjobs.statefarm.com and look and see if you find something on which one really lines up with you. And bilingual, we have recently had a big need for bilingual, and we have an interpreter Spanish bilingual need that has a really high advanced superior testing certification. So you need to be able to pass the test at a really high feedback rate, I guess. So for writing and reading and speaking. So the writing portion, and people haven't had a good luck passing it recently, but I know that there's many people out there that can do well with that. And then our normally entry level with claims and customer service, you will see those posted a lot, and it's not because they haven't been filled. It's really because those jobs are continuously our high volume areas, and those are our entry level points. So we will be putting them up and down, and you'll see them go up. And I think right now, this very moment, they're down, but they will be coming back up again. So you can always go to our talent neighborhood, our careers page, join the talent neighborhood, set an alert so that you see those jobs coming in when they do come up. But once they do come up, they're usually hiring in large volume.
Wow, well done, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I know the industry is, since I have been running Career Connectors, insurance has always been on a growth path here. One of the top 5 continuing to grow in Arizona. So how about a virtual round of applause for our panelists? Yay! Thank you so much. We really appreciate your time. For everyone on the line today, if you have questions for these panelists that didn't get answered, I know there were a couple that dropped that didn't get answered, feel free to send them in the private message and they can answer them. They're going to stay on the line for a little while to continue to answer questions. But thanks again, guys. We really appreciate you being here today. All right. So now we're going to move over to the financial services panel. So I'd like to introduce you all to Erin Polazzi. She is a recruiter at Freedom Financial Network. Hi, Erin.
Hi, thanks for having me.
She's got the great background also, very well. And now I'm going to bring on Olivia Terabini. She's a senior recruiter at Vanguard. Hi, Olivia.
Hello, thanks so much for having me.
Yes, great to have you here this morning. And then Jarrell Lockhart, he is a recruiter at Silicon Valley Bank. Hello. Jarrell, can you hear us?
Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Sorry about that on mute.
Oh, you switched vacation places since we last talked. That is great. So thank you three. We know that just like the insurance industry, the financial services industry is another one that is on a growth pattern, specifically in the Phoenix area. It may be national as well, but I know for sure in the Phoenix area, it's a top 5. So let's start off doing a similar thing with just kind of take 2 minutes, tell us, a little bit about your company, your particular role, and then what you really enjoy and like about your company. So Jarrell, do you want to get us started?
Sure. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Even though I have the bridge behind me, the Golden Gate Bridge, I am located here in the Valley, but I always put that up there because Silicon Valley Bank is based out of the Bay Area. So Silicon Valley Bank, first, who are we? We are the global leader in technology banking. We've been around for over 30 years, and what we do primarily is bring venture capital and private equity together to really fund the innovative economy. So we are, like I said, #1 globally in tech banking. As a matter of fact, over 60% of the tech IPOs in 2019 banked with Silicon Valley Bank. We're all using Zoom right now. That was a client of the bank. And also LinkedIn was an early client of the bank as well. I've been with Silicon Valley Bank for about 6 years. Actually transitioned from Google to Silicon Valley Bank, and primarily because of its focus on not just giving back to the community, but its focus on really driving the innovative economy forward. So, I mean, we have offices, 27 locations here in the US, but we're also in the UK, we're in Germany, we're in Israel. We have the only joint venture tech bank in China as well. We're in India, and we also just set up shop in Canada. So every time you see kind of a bubbling tech sector, you'll typically see Silicon Valley Bank there. What do I love about this company? I love the culture. I mean, and I know it's kind of cliched for nowadays to say the culture of a company is awesome, and it's also cliche to say it's kind of a family feel, but even though we're a global bank, we have about 4,000 full-time employees. We've got about 1,200 consultants and about 1,100 contractors that work with us. So you really get to know the people that you work with very, very well. Another aspect of Silicon Valley Bank that I love is not only do we deal with the healthcare and the healthcare space, but we also deal with the premium wine industry. So to be a Silicon Valley Bank employee means that from time to time you have to enjoy a glass of client wine, which is a plus here at SVB. We've got tons of opportunities, whether if you're looking to work actually in the finance space or if you're looking in the tech space or sales. Operations is probably our biggest player down here in Arizona, but I really just look forward to connecting with everyone, hearing more about other financial institutions also. But I think SVB is an awesome place to work, especially if you have a passion for technology.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Olivia, what about you? Tell us about Vanguard.
Yeah, thanks so much. So Vanguard is the largest mutual fund company in the country. We've got about 20 million clients, $6 trillion of assets under management, but kind of like very much a like family feel, a very close-knit teamwork environment. So we're a virtual firm right now and always. So with our clients, it didn't change, interesting times that we're in didn't change much how we operate with our clients. But we are all home now, but intending to go back at some point. Our offices are in Scottsdale. And then for anybody on the East Coast, our headquarters are in Malvern, Pennsylvania, and we have a smaller office in Charlotte, North Carolina, so can kind of transition however you feel across the country and across the states as applicable. But the main part about Vanguard is that we are client owned, so we really do pride ourselves in doing what's right for the client, and that being kind of the backbone of how we operate. It really is impactful to the crew and trickles down again back into the culture. We're very service oriented. It's easy to do the right thing. So we've got a lot of different career growth opportunities too, and whether you're working in IT or tech within Vanguard, or advice or analytics, or that more technical side of financial services, or relationship management, or getting into leadership or HR. I started on the business side, and the career growth opportunities, how we operate within those different functions, are definitely what I enjoy best about Vanguard. And you can really feel that service-oriented mindset. Clients, crew, and community are our three pillars, and that's really what keeps me here.
That's great. Clients, crew, and community. Awesome. Aaron, or Olivia, we're going to go on to Aaron, but will you check your headsets? We're getting some feedback, so maybe just check your connections. And as we have Aaron.
Oh, sorry, sure.
Okay, Aaron, tell us about Freedom.
Yes, hi. So Freedom Financial Network is really just a family of a few different companies. And we started, we're probably the youngest organization of everybody involved today. Founded in 2002 by two friends, straight out of college. The traditional Silicon Valley type startup story, right? They were, in a spare bedroom in one of their homes. We really started as a debt settlement company, kind of as a graduate project. And then, it just kind of morphed into what we are today. We've got 2,200 employees, across our two locations here in Arizona and then in San Mateo. And I think, what's made Freedom successful is, they started with this philosophy of, balancing that heart and dollar sign. And it really still kind of just, is the guiding vision for everything that we do. We've helped so many, millions and millions of people get to that path of financial freedom. And it'll always be, the heart of what we do. But it created other opportunities for us, right? So we've been able to get into the lending side, offering, prime, personal loans, and then a consolidation loan of sorts. We are, you know, dipping our toes into the mortgage industry now. So, you know, the best part to me about what we do here is, you know, helping our customers and doing what's right by them. Not only our customers, but our employees and our communities. We are big into giving back to the community, so much so that we even, you know, give paid time off to volunteers. So it's something that's really important to us as an organization. You know, giving back to our own, you know, people. We have something that we call the Freedom Family Fund, which is, you know, within our organization. And, you know, we will, you know, let people wear jeans on Wednesdays when we're in the office, of course, and they can pay into this fund, and then it turns around and it helps, you know, your fellow Freedom family members. You know, if something traumatic happens, you know, heaven forbid, somebody passes away or there's a fire in their home or something, you know, we all really band together, you know, and pull those funds, and then the owners will match, you know, so it's something that, you know, we really just kind of live and breathe. The best thing to me personally, and the reason that I stick around for so long is our core values. You know, so often you know, and I've been with a lot of different organizations that, you know, they slap a core value on a coffee mug or on a mouse pad and nobody ever talks about it again. But freedom is so different. Freedom lives and breathes the core values. I mean, yes, they're on the coffee mugs and they're slapped on the, you know, they're on the wall and the elevator and everywhere. But you would be hard pressed to have a conversation with somebody or attend a meeting of some sort where you're not talking about a core value and how you can integrate that into your everyday, or, you know, even if it's in a joking way, you know, because you can say, oh, you know, you see what I did there, we're getting better every day, because that's one of our core values, you know, or acting with integrity. Above all else, we really care, you know, and so I think that, you know, that is probably the best thing. Yes, the culture and environment and all of that, which is, you know, as Jarrell said, you know, maybe a little cliche, but, you know, it's when you walk in, it still feels like that startup, but just on a much larger scale. So,
yeah, I can, you know,
yeah.
I've worked with Freedom for I don't know, 5 or 6 years now. Every person that's ever spoke on our stage from Freedom adequately and compellingly tells the Freedom story. Mm-hmm. And so you can tell it's integrated into your culture. So the story is very good, and it's why you guys do what you do. So awesome. Thank you for being here. Okay, I'm going to jump over to, let's talk about when you guys are looking for people to work at your company. What are some of the, you know, skills that you're looking for people to land a job? So Jarrell, why don't you get started here?
Sure. So like I said, it's across the board, whether if you're looking in the IT space, maybe in the client-facing space, or if you're more of an analytical person, we do have a lot of process analyst positions, et cetera. So we're looking, the main thing that we're really looking for, because SVB has a mission to really open up access to innovation to all. So not just those with a 4-year college degree. We actively recruit in community colleges, you name it, because we really want people that have an entrepreneurial spirit, that have a passion for technology, meaning that, you know, you can have an idea, a great idea is great, you know, but if you don't have the financing behind that idea, then it's really not going to go anywhere. So we're looking for individuals that have that entrepreneurial spirit, that, you know, finance is not something that's rocket science. So, you know, but what we do have, like, for individuals to have some type of background in math, or, you know, you don't necessarily have to have a background in finance, but having that passion for numbers really does help, especially if you're working for a bank. But primarily for SVB, we just need individuals that come in that really have a passion to drive the innovative economy forward. So whether if it's in the IT space, whether if you're working in the operations space, or if you're in a client-facing role, it's really about having that passion for technology, and we will teach you the finance side. So those are the type of skills that you bring in. It could really vary, but we're really going to talk about where you want to go with your career, where your passion is, and then we're going to let you guide us to the position that fits best for the individual.
Awesome, great. Erin, what about you guys? Are specific kind of skill sets or behavior traits you're looking for when you bring people in?
Yeah, I think I can, kind of echo a lot of what Jarrell said. But for us, we are a smaller organization. So a lot of the roles that we have, in our customer service world, either, in the lending side or the debt relief side, are more entry level. So those are the ones that, you can just be right out of school, or maybe you don't have a degree of some sort, but you have an interest in the finance world. I think for us, what we look for is somebody who could be a future leader, right? A lot of our leaders in our organization are homegrown, what we call homegrown, right? They started as a receptionist or somebody in the mailroom, and now they're a manager or a senior director. So we definitely want that individual who has that little extra something, the ability to kind of, think outside the box, critically think, really have, a passion for people and helping people, because that's ultimately what our goal is.
Yeah, that's great. Olivia, what do you have? What about you guys?
Yeah, thank you. Is this better now in terms of audio?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so a lot of the similar qualities already mentioned, but, looking for individuals who are passionate about helping others, who have a teamwork-oriented mindset. There are a ton of people I talk to every day in some of our entry-level application spaces that come from the retail industry, hospitality, education, and it doesn't really matter about your background or lack thereof of financial services background, right? But that interest in learning and growing and having that that desire to be the point person, to help others and to and also those who are, proactive and motivated in their own career. Vanguard has so many different career development opportunities, and your team leaders along the way will definitely, tap you on the shoulder if things are available. But those who are most successful and happy, right, passionate, are those who are proactive in finding out, what avenues and areas they are interested in and would be best suited for. So those who are willing to learn and just interested in learning more about financial services. I have a background in the nonprofit sector and started in one of our entry-level roles, the client relationship associate position, and was like, I should probably learn this for myself. And I like working with people. And I heard Vanguard was a good company with great benefits. So, okay, cool, I'll give it a try. And I was able to transition into an area that I wanted to be in, but having the foundation of one of our, foundational roles has really helped just make the process and experience in this role even better. So a couple of different pieces, and really great crew to be able to progress through the business.
That's great. We've heard both from insurance and the financial. These are the words I've written down: caring, helping, coachable, ability to learn. So those are some of the key components both of these industries are looking when they're looking for people. So great. Okay, so let's do a quick check. People hear financial services and many of them are not jumping for joy for that industry. So let's talk about that. It may not sound appealing to some people to work for this industry. Tell us why you like it and, why you stay in this industry. So Erin, let's start with you.
Oh, wow. I think we joke that the only thing that's constant in the finance industry is change. And I think that for me personally, that's appealing because I tend to get a little antsy when things are too calm. And in this industry, especially during COVID, you are just kind of, you have to kind of go with the flow. And so I think for me that is something that I enjoy, is that constant change. Even if it's a little, regulatory thing, or if it's a process change or something. So for me, often people think, oh, finance, you have to have an accounting background, or you have to this or that. You really don't, for most of the roles here. You just have to be adaptable and be able to kind of navigate change well. So that's what's appealing for me.
That's great. Olivia, what about you? Why do you like Vanguard, and why do you stay within the finances area?
Yeah, in talking to a lot of different candidates, a lot of and as I mentioned previously, Vanguard is a virtual firm, so we work with our clients primarily online and over the phone. So our roles are, a lot of our client-facing roles are in call center environments, which gets a really bad rap, right? Like nobody wants to be in Wolf of Wall Street in a loud, hectic, stressful environment, talking to clients all day, every day. But so kind of steering people away from that mindset, and getting them to understand how we are having those get to know you relationship building conversations with our clients every day, and being able to make an impact on people's lives. So what I have really, and I kind of already mentioned again, but have really enjoyed about my time at Vanguard is really in the client-facing roles that I've had, really being able to feel the impact that I am able to be a part of or make in our clients' lives, but then internally an opportunity to grow and really pursue what I'm passionate about and continue to develop and learn in different areas, like mentioned. Whether you're working, finance isn't all advice or numbers and spreadsheets and graphs, right? Like it's very much relationship building and people oriented too. So, and I didn't necessarily know that before I joined Vanguard. I thought it was all graphs. And so having the opportunity to learn more of that technical side, right? But also get to know and explore and get the exposure to a variety of different opportunities that really do center around relationship building with your crew and clients.
Great. We are getting a lot of feedback again. Sorry, I don't know if maybe you have another headset you can try, and I'm sorry, I'm going to move on to Jarrell, and so he can catch this one. But Jarrell, what about you? Why do you like your position? Some see finance as not interesting or compelling, but tell us about that.
Jessica, I'm glad you asked that question, and I can echo a lot of what Aaron and Olivia laid out. What I really love about not only the financial service industry and the challenges that are presented within the financial service industry, what I love about working at SVB is our focus on inclusion and diversity. So what we really found there were a lot of underrepresented communities that really don't go into finance for some reason. It's just not on their checklist of careers that they would think they'd want to go into. So really getting out and educating the public, especially individuals in the early stages of their career, about the opportunities within finance. And like Olivia was laying out, it's not just numbers, it's really about relationship building. So, I consider myself to be, as a recruiter, a professional friend maker. Now there's no checkbox there when you're going to say, what do you want to major in, or friend making. But you can bring so many different talents into financial services. For example, our head of our life science banking group is an individual that she is a STEM graduate. She majored in biology. So it's like, so how could someone in biology go into financial services? It's like, well, we have a life science group, and when you are talking to clients out there, sometimes the clients, they don't. They're focused on what their innovative idea is, and they want to talk to individuals that have that same passion for those ideas. So if you bring in someone that just has a background in finance, and they're talking to someone that has a background in microbiology, the two may not mix. So we really like to say, hey, if you have a background in anything, finance can usually be a place that you can land. You can bring your skills, you can bring your education, your background, your talents into a financial service position, and your working on the other side of the table to help fund those ideas. You're really going to be able to see kind of the global impact you can have, especially when you're dealing in technology banking. So, I love the fact that we can bring in people from so many different backgrounds, so many, diversity of thought, diversity of background, diversity of skills, and they can all kind of blend in together to really help us drive our business forward. So, and I just want to echo again what Olivia was saying about how finance is not just numbers. It is a lot about building and maintaining relationships. So if you've got a passion for that, I think this is an industry that you can really land.
That's fantastic. Thank you for that. And you're getting a lot of comments, that professional friend maker. I was just like, if we could all be that, oh my, what a place to live. What a world would be. That is awesome. Okay, we're running out of time, but I want to talk about people that are transitioning into financial services. So two things I want you to kind of address here. How does somebody get their foot in the door? And what do your career pathways look like? So Erin, why don't you start?
Yeah, I mean, foot in the door, I think, any one of our entry-level positions, customer service, maybe in our collections team, something like that, where you have a little bit of experience is helpful. I say networking a lot, get on LinkedIn. If you know somebody that works here, we put a lot of stock in our referral program and our referrals from our employees. So definitely rely on that networking because that will get you a long way in all aspects of your career. But really at Freedom, when you know somebody, it does help. As cliche as that sounds. And then career pathing, I have actually a unique story. I haven't always been a recruiter. I haven't always been in human resources. I came in as a leader. I was hired as a supervisor to help build the quality assurance department here. And then I was asked to kind of take on a different role and moved, and I was still in a leadership position, just in a different area of the business. And, it goes back to the networking. I did a lot of networking with the recruiting, the talent acquisition manager. I was one of his hiring managers, and an opportunity came up, and it's always been something that I've been interested in and, want a path to human resources. And it started as a conversation, and then he, believed in me and gave me the opportunity, and here I am. So I think that so many stories at Freedom specifically sound like that. But now I'm, I already have a bachelor's degree in psychology, but I'm just back, with an emphasis in human resource management because I found a passion for doing what I do, not just in talent acquisition, but, in the human resources aspect. Nothing but support from our leaders and the organization, and they really do support kind of what your goals are, right? We spend a lot of time, and there's a lot of passion around developing and career development, and all of those conversations in your documented one-on-ones have that aspect, right? Let's set goals. So let's talk about our short-term goals. Let's talk about our long-term goals. How do we get you there, right? Even if it's a side-by-side, or let's get you some exposure. Maybe you can volunteer for a project for this team. So there's a lot of passion around that here at Freedom.
That's great. If I could, all of you, everyone that's on the phone right now, you've got to focus right now and listen to this. She said their employee referral program is a huge way that they get employees. Sandy Carlock is on the line saying, chatting, great employees come from great referrals.
Yes,
so when
100%.
people say networking, this is what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. Who do you know in the company? You want to work there. Go find someone that works in the company and talk to them. And be nice. Be a professional friend maker. Be nice to them.
Yes.
You guys.
Yes.
Thank you for saying doing that. All right. Olivia, let's see if we can hear you well this time. What do you think about career pathways and how to get your foot in the door?
I know, sorry. I'll keep it short in case it's crazy working on it. But yeah, give me a call. I have already connected with several of participants on LinkedIn. I'm so happy to do so. So applying to our roles, and you can even put me as a referral and it'll flag it immediately for review. Our client relationship associate position is where we start the majority of our crew for that internal growth and promotion in the direction of your choosing. And like Erin mentioned, networking is huge at Vanguard too, right? It's all about who you know and how you learn about different information sooner than other crew maybe. So it continues to be important in your career. We're also hiring into a part of our sales organization. So again, not selling to individuals that may or may not be in their best interest, right? We're constantly keeping the clients in mind, but maybe to other advisors or within our institutional division. So our retail sales consultant role is also hiring, as well as those with really awesome customer service skills. Our high net worth client representative position, you will get your licenses. They're not required to be considered for this role, but really able to hone in on the customer service skills. And then really you can, again, expand and grow from there.
Great, thank you. Jarrell, what about you?
For SVB, let's see, for folks that are interested in some of our entry-level positions, it's really focused more on client service and operations. So for client service, if you have a customer service background, a relationship management background, that'd be great. Operations is more on the back end. So, we're looking for those folks that do have a background in operations, primarily in financial services. But if you have an operations background outside of financial services, we'd still love to talk to you. We've got a lot of opportunities for those at kind of that mid-level career, whether if it's in super management or we have our FX operations as well. So our FX teams are looking for folks like that. We're looking for some senior level folks as well, primarily out of the Bay Area, but because of COVID-19, 96% of the company is working from home right now. And SVB is also talking about really building this into our long-term strategy. So whether if you're in the Valley or know folks that are outside of the Valley that are interested in these opportunities, we'd love to talk to you. But the best way to get your foot in the door is just like I believe everyone's kind of commenting today is find someone from SVB and talk to them. I mean, especially if you find someone from the fintech teams, okay? Those guys on the fintech teams, they love to talk about what they do all day. Yeah, even to when you don't want to hear it anymore. Okay, so I would say reach out to an SVBer. Let them know that you have interest, and I guarantee that SVBer would love to chat with you about what we can do to help you grow professionally. So there are lots of, one other opportunity for recent college grads, look into our associate development program. The associate development program, we start twice a year, and it really brings in recent college grads that are interested more in the sales side. But you go through a 1.5-year program in one of our hubs in Palo Alto or in Boston. And after a 1.5 years, you join one of the relationship teams after that. So lots of opportunities for all levels.
That is fantastic. So my last question for you guys, so we can wrap it up, is tell us about a couple hot jobs that you have today. And Jarrell, why don't you continue on with this one?
Okay, I'll start. So we've got a super great opportunity, in my opinion, for a senior cloud security engineer that's out of our Tempe location. We're looking for a vice president to support our credit card administration team here in Tempe. I support the operations team, so I'm looking for a senior manager of operations. I'm also looking for an operations manager. So if anyone out there has a background in operations and people management and leadership, I would love to talk to you. But so, and I encourage everyone to check out svb.com/careers. We've got over 250 openings right now. And I wish I had the Uncle Sam hat on that I could say, we want you. Yeah. So those are some of the kind of the hot opportunities that are available now.
That's awesome. You make me want to work at SVB. That's great. Okay, Olivia, what about you guys? What's Vanguard have right now?
Yeah, so I kind of mentioned a little bit the client relationship associate position, more of a foundational role, but really great opportunity to get up that exposure and move onward and upward from there. The high net worth client representative role, more of that customer service, white glove service to our high net worth clients, but working in that service to sales approach. Our retail sales consultants are those working specifically in a sales atmosphere. All of these have our sponsors your FINRA series licenses, and all are required for these roles. Internal sales consultant, that role is also focused on external sales in an institutional space and to advisors in particular. But yeah, vanguardjobs.com is where you can find the whole list, the whole slew of jobs that are available here in Arizona, but also offered cross-site in our East Coast offices. And again, if anything is interesting to you, feel free to reach out. And if I don't know, I'll get you connected to a recruiter that is closer to that role.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Olivia. Okay, Erin, bring us home. What kind of jobs do you have at Freedom right now?
All kinds of jobs. We have a couple of different roles with our inside sales teams, debt relief, both sides of the house. So debt relief and our lending side, couple customer service positions and classes that we're going to be filling over the month of September, specifically bilingual. So if you have or know anybody with the Spanish speaking ability, I wish I did. We are hiring great pay growth opportunity in that department. Collections representatives, customer service, if you have any kind of customer service experience within a lending or a loan servicing type world, we're hiring there. We are revamping our operational risk department as well. So we've got directors, manager positions. We have some information, some InfoSec roles that we are hiring as well, some auditors, all kinds of stuff. So head over to jobs.freedomfinancialnetwork.com. We are hiring in Phoenix as well as San Mateo. So looking for a senior technical recruiter there in San Mateo too, if you know anybody.
Awesome. All right. Thank you all for being here today. How about another virtual applause for our panelists? Thank you. Thank you. You guys were great. Such good information. We really appreciate you. All right. We are going to continue on. We have a couple resources we'd like to tell you guys about. And so we're going to move on from the panel today. The first one of the main questions we get is, what do I do about insurance now that I left my company? And so we've had a conversation with Joe. He's Joe, the insurance pro. He is going to tell you about U.S. Health Advisors and some of the opportunities in working with them. He is super excited to be our trusted advisor, insurance advisor. He takes great pride in helping people, and it's kind of his passion in life of helping people. So he's been running his own agency for 2 years. Just something fun about Joe. He's been a leader on every team he's ever been on, whether it's school, sports, and in his career. And he loves helping people to become the best version of themselves. So we are excited to partner with the U.S. Health Advisors and Joe, the insurance pro. Take it away, Joe.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Joe, the Health Insurance Pro here. Great job by everyone today. This is my second time participating in these types of settings with Career Connectors, and you guys knocked it out of the park. Phenomenal information about your industries and about your company specifically. So thank you so much to both panels. I help individuals, families, and small businesses to find the proper health insurance based on their wants, needs, and affordability. I also train my team to be very friendly and helpful in advising people to find the right coverage at the right price and to fit what exactly they need for either a short period of time or long period of time. The way we've been working with people due to the pandemic, but also even before the pandemic, because myself and my advisors cover 30 states, is we sit down and we do a screen share and we walk people through what their current plan is, or we walk them through a couple different plans so they can really understand their health insurance better than ever before, how it works for them and how it protects them. A huge need in the market right now is a lot of people have left our company or have been laid off. And so they're on COBRA or some type of insurance that might be more expensive than they're used to if they're used to being on a group plan. So if you hear of anyone that's on COBRA, by all means, please send them my way. Myself or one of my agents will reach out to them, give them a call. There's more affordable options that are better suited probably for what their needs are until they find that next great opportunity through career connectors or the many different people that help support career connectors and offer their companies and job opportunities to them. Another thing that I want to share is real estate, 1099, small business owners, family members that are currently on plans, but you have to pay a lot more for the family, are definitely situations where we can advise people to better options, better coverage, and a better understanding of their health insurance. So I'm a huge fan of Career Connectors. I was watching them for a long time before I decided to reach out to Jessica and introduce myself. And I can't be more happy to be a business partner and also a supporter of Career Connectors. And please share my name and information with anyone and everyone. Myself and my agents are here as trusted resources to guide people and advise people. Even throughout this time, throughout the last couple months, sometimes we just give people a virtual high five and say, you know what, you're on a great plan at a great price, and just give them peace of mind that they made great decisions. So thank you so much, everyone. Joe, the Health Insurance Pro, please call, text, email me. We'll make sure that an agent gets in contact with you and helps you the right way. Thanks so much, Jessica.
Thank you, Joe. I know that when my husband and I went through career transition 11 years ago, this topic of insurance was the hardest piece for us. We had an infant, a 2-year-old and a 10-year-old at the time, and we felt like we needed insurance coverage for our family. So it was extremely difficult. So I'm so glad to have you on board, and thank you for talking to our people when they're in a place where they really need some support. All right, you guys, I have a couple more things to close it out with. One of the things we can't do right now is have you fill out an evaluation and hand it in to us. So we're asking you to respond to a quick survey. It's a pop-up box. There are 4 questions, so it's like a survey, but the one is in front of your screen right now. So if you could just click yes or no, that will give us some data that we need. There will be 4 of these questions, and we're not taking any kind of input as far as, you know, if you have additional comments. So if you do have additional comments, we do want to hear from you. So contact@careerconnectors.org is our email. And what we would love to hear is, did this panel work for you? Did you like the information? Would you like to hear other industries that are also growing? And so we're getting some applause, so that's good. But if you have any of those kind of comments, we would love to hear them. We are working on a healthcare one, we are working on a technology one, and we are working on a contact center customer service one. So those are 3 that we have coming that we're working on. So any thoughts or ideas you have for us, we want to hear from you. All right, this is a list of our sponsors. You'll see some of them are here today and are speaking, and we are incredibly grateful. These sponsors have continued to support Career Connectors even through this pandemic. We are a nonprofit organization, and so thank you to all of our sponsors for caring about us and caring about our community and the people that we serve. All right, so Christy at the beginning of the day talked about the BestCompaniesAZ company and resources, and here is the link. And again, ton of resources are available on that site, as well as verified, confirmed job companies that are hiring. So I encourage you, based on what we heard today, go out there, check out the companies, see if there are any that interest you, and then hop on over to LinkedIn and see if you know anyone that works at those companies. That is a super simple search. For example, let's take Freedom, for example. You would just put Freedom Financial Network in the LinkedIn search box, and up will show on your LinkedIn profile anyone you are connected to at Freedom Financial Network. Hopefully, one of them includes Erin. Hopefully you're connecting with her today, but because you should be connecting with all the companies and on their LinkedIn profiles that are here today. So that's an example of networking. That's an example of using kind of that back door to get connected. So check out the BestCompaniesAZ resources and tons of great resources and information out there. All right, so we also have some additional resources for you guys. One is the DISC assessment. If you haven't taken this yet, I encourage you to do that. In fact, we have a presentation coming up next week, September 2nd, next week, about how to utilize the DISC in your job search, in your interviewing, on your resume. And so take the time, it's going to take you about 15 minutes, take the time to go out and complete that assessment before next week. And to take it another step further, if you can take it and then print it out and have it in front of you as Marlene goes through the assessment, it will take your job search to another level. It'll give you some more confidence in talking about yourself. So take that assessment. It doesn't cost anything, but it will really help with our talk next week. All right, this presentation will be posted out in a couple places. We are doing an event recap as well. So that will be posted in the next couple days. Some of the content from our panelists that you heard today will be posted. And then we have our social media platforms listed on the bottom there. We're on many of the platforms. LinkedIn is probably our most active one as far as people engaging. So our LinkedIn group is strong. And then our Facebook page, we post a lot of content, videos on our LinkedIn, on our Facebook page as well. All right, so here is what we have coming up. The Marlene Lundy is actually somebody I have known, oh my gosh, I think over 20 years now. We were both at Intel at the same time. We got DISC certified, train the trainer certified status, and traveled the world teaching DISC and incorporating it into the culture. She knows what she's talking about. So she's going to help you understand you and the value you bring and how to communicate that to an employer. So that's next Wednesday. We're also going to have equality, health, and early warning as our hiring companies that day. And then on September 16th, we're doing another panel. And this panel is one of our most sought after events in all of our, every single year. We do 2 of them a year. And it is Resume Mythbusters. I am bringing in 4 resume writers, professional certified resume writers that know how to get your resume through the applicant tracking system. They know what they're talking about. They're gonna come in, we're gonna do a version of what we did today with the panel, asking some questions. And so please register for that. And when you register, ask your question. What are the things you're wanting to know? What are the questions you have for resumes? Because we know everybody likes to give resume advice, but not everybody gives good resume advice. So we're going to hear from the best. And so submit those questions ahead of time. And they are a phenomenal group of ladies that are going to be walking us through. We also have McKesson, WealthWave, and U-Haul as our hiring companies that day. And then October 7th, we're going to hear from Kevin Duncombe on Kickstart Your Job Search. And so be watching your emails for the additional companies that we'll be adding to each of these events. All right, so here is the 3 places you can find content. We have this webinar that you're hearing today will be posted on the CC Webinars tab. This is our homepage, careerconnectors.org. So the CC Webinars tab is on the right-hand side. In the middle is a community update. And so I occasionally do interviews and content overviews with different businesses and different community resources. And so we put those in they're about 20, 30 minutes each. And then I do a couple career chats a week. These are 3 to 5 minute videos, and there's a lot of stuff about unemployment in there. There's job tips. There's a review of some of these webinars are in there. So there's 3 different ways that we're trying to get content out to you. So that's how you can connect with that. And then Let's go to the next slide. This one is for our volunteers. You guys, we could not do this program without our volunteers. We have about 100 people that help run Career Connectors, and from people that are on the call, people doing stuff on the backside, coaches, keynote speakers, just so many people helping. So can I see that round of a virtual applause again for all of our volunteers? You guys are awesome. We even pulled in some last minute folks today as well. All right. I also wanted to let you guys know that, we are a nonprofit organization. We will never, ever charge for any of our services ever. But just like many industries, we have been hit pretty hard. And so we're going to do a fundraising campaign. And if any way, shape, or form you feel compelled to give, we would be incredibly grateful. We do not want to stop this program. We do not intend to stop this program. And we want to just expand it and serve more people. So even, and I know this is cliche to say, but even $5 helps. So it takes us $42 to serve each person in our finances. And so if you have any interest at all, Sheila, can you go to the next slide? If you have any interest at all, there's, there's a donate button on our website, and we would be really, really grateful. So if you feel compelled at all, thank you for offering to give during this time. All right, you guys, what a great day. So many fantastic speakers. Thank you to our 6 panelists for bringing your knowledge, your content, your information. Thank you to our speakers today as well. We really appreciate you. And if you ever have any questions for us, we are available to you guys, and we are praying for you all that you do land into the career of your dreams. Thanks for being here today.